gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police, but I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's a Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
A sad update from Federal Way today. A 2-year-old has died after being shot in the parking lot of an IHOP earlier today. That young child was first taken to St. Francis Hospital just a few blocks from the IHOP and then rushed to Harborview shortly after.
Wow. So, this is the result of just unrestricted, unrestrained, crash out culture, ops culture. This is what we get as a community, you know, and it's so crazy because ever since I started this channel, it's always been about stopping the violence, stopping the crime. And you guys know all of the things that I went through with YouTube. But I genuinely believe that the community does not want to solve this issue, because if you look at the comment section on my videos, people are saying I'm anti-black. How is one of the only few people talking about this issue? How are one of the only few people even addressing this issue? How are we anti-black? It doesn't make any sense. If anything, we're trying to correct the behavior because we love our people and we want to see them do good and live. Just live, right? And there's nothing that is stopping us from doing that except this main issue here. I mean, it's so real, and it's so crazy, but we have a 2-year-old that was killed, and I haven't heard anybody report on this story. These super gremlins are on demon time.
Federal Way police say their preliminary investigation suggests there was a shooting involving relatives from a family and say the child may have been caught in the crossfire.
Wow.
They do not believe this was a random.
So how can the fam can't even get along in the community nowadays, and it's endangering the children.
Crime.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Jenquavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time.
Just really sickening, awful.
The shooting death of a 2-year-old boy.
Incomprehensible.
Still shocking for those in Federal Way, including its mayor.
It's not an area where you would think that something like this would happen.
Last Thursday, police say the boy was shot outside the IHOP and later died at the hospital. Federal Way police believe the child's father was targeted and the little boy was hit in the crossfire. The King County Medical Examiner identified him as Synsyr Lewis, and this online fundraiser set up by his family shows a smiling, happy child.
Wow. And this young man, Synsyr Lewis, I mean, this child, they started a GoFundMe, and he has less money than the individual, I believe, in Chicago who just shot at police officers and was killed. He has less money supporting his GoFundMe. You know, just let that sink in, and it really tells you where the priorities are in the community. And it's very sad. It's sickening.
We're going to move heaven and earth to find who pulled that trigger. We'll find him.
That same day, more gunfire.
That actually was almost simultaneously. I mean, it was just shortly thereafter the other shooting that happened on Pacific Highway and 334.
Police released these new photos of the suspects they're looking for. That's an area the mayor says the city's special operations unit is zeroing in on.
Spent $1 million of extra overtime to put that patrol on top of patrol on Pacific Highway.
Those aren't the only shootings in Federal Way this year. Last week, a teenage girl was hit by gunfire through a window inside an apartment. The city has seen 2 other deadly shootings so far this year. In the wake of so much gun violence, Mayor Farrell is investing in the police force by adding 6 new officers to the department in the next budget.
Know that we are absolutely committed to making this a safer area. It's our top priority. We're going to put the resources and the willpower into doing this.
And you know, that's what you want to hear out of a mayor. Unfortunately, these things a lot of times are unpreventable. In this area specifically, it's in Washington. You know, it's not like shoot 'em up bang bang town like a Philly or an Atlanta or a Memphis. It's not like that. So, you know, it just goes to show that this issue, even in a area that's not known for these types of shootings, this issue is very much centered and focused in the community. And with that, we should be making an effort to internally investigate, internally keep an open eye, internally trying to diffuse situations. But it just seems like we're only trying to amp them up as we are heading into the second quarter of 2024.
And right now, Federal Way Police have 150 officers. The mayor's proposal to add more will officially come in September, and he wants to apply for federal grants to help cover the cost of their salaries. For now, live in Federal Way, Julie Calhoun, King 5 News.
Fox 18 is following breaking news. A 2-year-old little boy has died after he was shot in the parking lot of an IHOP restaurant in Federal Way.
The shooting happened on Southwest Campus Drive around 10 o'clock this morning. Fox 13's Nia Wong joining us live from outside Harborview Medical Center tonight with the very latest. Nia.
This was not the outcome anyone wanted. This child was sent here earlier today, and around 8 o'clock, officials told us, sadly, that child did not survive. The tragedy unfolding outside an IHOP in Federal Way around 10 o'clock this morning. Police say just minutes after they arrived to the scene, St. Francis Hospital called them, saying they had a 2-year-old child with a gunshot wound. That child was eventually transported to Harborview, where they died. Right now, police say this was not a random shooting. Their early investigation suggests a relative of that 2-year-old and another person were involved in a shootout in the parking lot of that IHOP. Federal Way Mayor Jim Farrell commented on the shooting, saying, "This is a horrific crime, and we will move heaven and earth to find who is responsible. I trust our hardworking and professional police department to track down this culprit and hold them accountable." Federal Way Police have not released any information about a suspect. They're asking anyone with more information to give them a call at the number you see on your screen or to send tips through Crime Stoppers website.
Wow. So obviously, we're waiting on the police to do their jobs and figure out exactly what happened. Obviously, we know that it was a family dispute, but man, I mean, this is what we're talking about, guys. This is what we keep saying is happening, and nobody's speaking up about it. You know, it's just crazy that it's taken all this for a 2-year-old to be shot and deleted. It's taken all this to even spread any type of awareness. And like I said, this story is, I mean, unfortunately, I hate to say, but it's going nowhere, man. It's going nowhere. This video here, it may not even crack 1,000 views, obviously, because of the shadow banning and censorship. And I'm not doing this for views. I'm doing this for exposure. But man, I mean, it's not looking good, and it seems that this issue isn't going to be solved anytime soon.
For now, reporting outside Harborview, Nia Wong, Fox 13 News.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
Guess what? I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.